Mexico City, going down Saturday night from the Arena CDMX. Going back for the first time since last February, headlined by Moreno versus Royval 2. Brandon Moreno again in the main event. The assassin baby, who took some time off after that aforementioned loss to our boy Brandon Royval, the Raw Dog. But he came back in November and just dominated Amir Albazi in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. You name the decision win, not even close for a second. He's back, taking on Steve Erceg, Astro Boy from Australia, coming in here riding a 2-fight losing streak. But granted, it was Pantoja for the gold, where it was one, speaking of terrible decisions, one failed takedown away from winning the gold, arguably. And then he got caught by Kaikar France in 1 minute in Australia last year. How much can you really take away from that? So
the trend, right, of like the way the career. I mean, he's had his time in the UFC has been fun though. Like, I'm sure he's gonna look back at it no matter what happens, be like, God damn it, dude! Like, I did some shit.
He's having, like, I'd never expected him to be a guy after his first UFC fight. I was like, it's fine, but
he just kept 29. Yeah, just so you know, like there's plenty of time there.
There is. According to the current line from our friends over at BetMGM, we follow that link down below. You can get up to $1,500 of bonus bets paid back. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER if you're having any issues. If not, you can follow the link down below. Nonetheless, current line, minus 220 for Brandon Moreno. Steve Erceg, plus 180 for the Astro Boy. Look, I love me some Astro Boy. He's coming in here on short notice. This was originally supposed to be...
on enemy territory.
Yeah, correct. I can't remember who was originally supposed to be in this position. I think he's originally Steve Erceg supposed to fight. Was Manel Cape? Let me double check this. I'm gonna be annoyed if I get this wrong. But I know this was not the original fight plan for this event. I got it wrong. He was supposed to fight Asu Amabalayev, yes. and then they switched him out to fight Brandon Moreno. Much different matchup.
By the way, we are missing some key like Mexican fighters on this. Zell Huber ended up falling out. By the way, he had like 2 different opponent changes. The original fight. It's not even the original fight anymore. It's 2 different dudes, by the way. It's actually kind of crazy. You saw like a
yeah. That's always funny when that happens. Yeah.
Yair Rodriguez actually was rumored to be on this with Diego Lopez. That did not end up coming to fruition. And Yasmin Hauragi actually had her opponent withdraw, and then she withdrew because she's injured.
Sucks,
so we are missing some of those other big Mexican stars, but the card is still pretty fucking stacked.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I am a fan.
It's this card is great from head to. I'm biased as fuck, obviously, but. Dude, I think it's gonna be an all.
How are you biased, Angel?
I mean, hey man, you can only imagine.
I'm kidding. Nonetheless, so look, I love the Astro Boy. I love Steve Erceg. I love the journey. I think this is Brandon Moreno's night. I mean, he's back in Mexico City for the first time since his loss. I think it's
kind of set up for him, right? Like they kind of got going in there for him.
Yeah,
though Steve Erceg he's known to almost been able to play upset.
Exactly, he almost upset Pantoja in Brazil. Maybe could he pull it? I think he could.
I think he could. I think for one, dude, no bullshit. I mean, he has that kind of unknowing look. Like you wouldn't assume so, but I think he might go in there and like Brandon might be like, oh shit, like this guy's actually kind of game. And on top of that, Steve's got some underrated power in there, dude. Like you wouldn't think it looking at him, and his hands are solid. Moreno's wild, he's willing to get into the fire, willing to get mixed. You never know, he could get caught out. I do think in the grappling though, there is an advantage of the Moreno end with the
Oh yeah.
I think wrestling and jiu-jitsu in the scrambles, I mean, I don't know if I mean, and granted, Steve Erceg did his thing though in there with Pantoja when they did hit the ground. It wasn't
he wasn't getting washed.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows? I think he should be able to stand his ground. I think we're in consensus on this one together. I think we're both going Moreno.
Yeah. Same. I love the Astro Boy. It's just a lot stacked against him on Saturday night.
No bullshit.
Yeah. The co-main event is, I mean, a banger, but also this is kind of an odd place.
It's good. I think you could have had Kelvin and Joe Pfeiffer here.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe those guys probably should have been, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't have an issue with it because Dober is a name, but...
And then this is a banger fight. Let me be clear here.
I think these guys
are going to kill each other.
I think they did it more for Manel Torres. I think they were kind of like, we're giving him a decently profiled 155er, and we're going to, and obviously they want the Mexican fighter in the co-main event. I think that's more or less what it was.
Exactly. But nonetheless, here we go. In the co-main event, Manuel Torres, El Loco, who is 3-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Ignacio Bahamondes last September, UFC 306 at the Sphere. No shame in that. Bahamondes is just a dog. During his UFC run, though, the guy's proved to be all action. He got a knockout one of the Contender Series. He knocked out friend of the show, Frank Camacho. He knocked out Nicholas Mata. I say friend of the show. If I interviewed you once, you're fucking friend of the show. Chris Duncan submitted him as well. Taking on Drew Dober, who's coming off 2 losses, John Silva and Nata Moicano, but still even at the ripe age of 36, has a lot of power, still a lot of fun, has put together some runs in the past. Can he do it again? We'll see Saturday night. Who do you got in this co-main event in UFC Mexico City?
I mean, dude, I don't even think there's a wrong answer here. I mean, both these guys, at least on the Manuel tour, I think Drew Dober's not necessarily do or die. He can be. I'll put it like that. But, I mean, Manuel Torres is a do or die fighter. I think he kind of comes out, whatever happens. He's okay with the result, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Torres, man. I think he could do it.
Yeah.
Dober's a little older. You want to see a young guy come through. It's in Mexico.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm going to pick him too. I think it's just, and similar to the fight we just talked about in the main event, Brandon Moreno, Steve Erceg. I said there's a lot stacked against Steve Erceg. There's a lot stacked against Drew Dober, coming off 2 losses, including a finish in there. He was a guy that was always like generally pretty. How can I say this? Like he's always had like a really great chin. He has now been finished in 2 of his last 3 by knockout. So that's something worth noting against a young kid who is. I mean, I believe he's a decade younger than him. I think he's 26, Manuel Torres, 28, something around there. I just want to double check.
No, he's 30.
He's 30. Oh, damn. My apologies. His birthday was yesterday. That's why I thought he was fucking in his 20s. My bad, man. So
his birthday was yesterday.
Literally yesterday, the March 25th. So shout out Manuel Torres. I think he's gonna even more of a reason for him to win on Saturday. No, but jokes aside,
man,
younger man, look electric and. Yeah, man, Drew Dober with a chin seems to be fading. In a firefight, I'm going to pick the younger kid. But also, it'd be Drew Dober. Just there's some times where you think he's fucking,
he's done.
He's done,
but he's still there, man.
He just pulls it out. Anyways, the rest of the card, we do have some other bangers in here, and you had just mentioned one of them, Kelvin Gastelum, Joe Pyfer. I love that fight at 185.
But I mean, dude, come on, what has Kelvin showed you?
He hasn't shown me much. But. Is it possible for him to kind of like out veteran a guy in Joe Pyfer who like, I mean, he's kind of, got outlasted by Jack Hermanson once before, another vet. Is it possible?
Granted though, but I think in the case of the Jack thing, it was just too much too soon.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm just saying, I think it's possible, I think it's possible. I like the fight.
If we had I'd pick Joe.
Oh, I'd absolutely pick Joe. I'm just saying it's possible for.
Oh, dude, I got a crazy parlay this week. You guys don't even know.
Oh shit, you gotta tell me because we actually have our friends at the show, BetMGM. What's the parlay, Angel? Angel's parlay of the week.
I mean, I haven't written it down or anything, but I know that I was going through this and I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna pick this person. I'm gonna pick that person. Let's just say it's gonna get wild. I might post it on Twitter. I might do like that. I might do like a 10-legger.
The official Courtside Soundoff Twitter account will retweet it. Also on the card, Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Vince Morales. That's a fun one. Raul Rosas Jr. only 20 years old still.
20, almost 20 and a half.
Yeah, 20 and a half. Just fucking crazy. Taking on Vince Morales, who like was in Bellator whenever Raul Rosas Jr. was like in fucking elementary school. So I like that.
I think with the Raul thing, we're always going to be curious, right? Like you kind of have to be there, right? You kind of want to see how far this is going to go, and how the evolution is going to be.
And it blew my mind the other day because I was thinking about it. Like he's been in the UFC for like years now, and he's still only 20. You know what I mean? Like that's the reason. That's the whole thing about his signing.
Is this year 2? I think it's officially year 2.
No, we're past year 2, my man. I mean, we're on.
Is this year 3?
Signed September 2022. We're on year 3. So, and I saw like he was on a Hawani show like earlier this week. It is like talk about like hey, he still wants to be the youngest UFC champion ever, and there's still like 3 years and like 6 months or something, and it's like holy shit, he really might do it.
He could really just slow roll it the whole way through.
Yeah, he could if he wants to.
By the way, are you excited to order your Chi-Wee-Wee's burger?
Chi-Wee-Wee, of course I am, man.
At that unnamed restaurant we'll not mention.
Yeah, I mean, until they pay us,
right?
Hey, follow those links down below to our actual sponsors.